Jasmine is always trying to create drama. No one should be friends with Jasmine. No one should go anywhere near Jasmine because her toxicity will definitely come off on you. Who is stirring the pot this time and why is it Jasmine? And Kara has some revelations about her DJ friend who she's not sleeping with. But we will get to all that. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, share with your friends. Let's get right into it with the frat house tell-all, no hold bars event that they are trying to push as drama slash no drama slash drama. It'll be fun. Let's see what we got.
Everything is like a big mess. You don't react.
And we have the start of it all with Andre and Elizabeth stirring the pot. Who would have thought that they would actually get involved in everything and, you know, create more drama? It seems like it's their MO at this point.
Apologizing for 20 times.
Now, they do point out that it's not a real apology, but she did apologize a bunch of times, but this is not anything more than Elizabeth trying to divert attention from herself because she knows damn well she is the one that stirred up the pot in most of this, creating most of the drama. When it came to it, they would divert attention to Yara, they would divert attention to Lauren, but at the end of it all, it boiled down to Elizabeth.
We don't like fillers. We don't agree with that stuff, right? We're like most...
It is hilarious to me. It made me laugh really hard to where my laugh box is actually broken, which is why I'm not laughing right now. That they connected on the no plastic surgery, that is Elizabeth and Lauren, and they zoom right in on Darcy. Oh my gosh, it's working again. That is the best thing I think they've done, knowing damn well that she is the most filled face of any celebrity, partial celebrity you want to say, that we have ever seen. My God, there is no more room for filler in her face. Her lips are about to explode. And quite frankly, her face might fall off. I do worry, health-wise, in all seriousness, just for a second, in all seriousness, I actually do worry for her health. She has a serious problem, and this is not going to go well long-term. You may be in your 50s now trying to look young. It is not going to last forever no matter what you do.
Therapeutic to have a friend to bitch about your husband.
Whatever you do not listen to that lady. If you take one piece of advice from me, do not listen to Jasmine. My God, she finds the way to chime in on everything, and she continues to be the ultimate pot stir. Her and Elizabeth run a tight race. Jasmine is at the top for sure. This is where she chimes in when they're talking about how they used to banter back and forth about how awful their husbands are. Sounds like a good thing for your marriage for one. And then, of course, Jasmine chimes in, you have to have someone that you talk about how god-awful your husband is. Yeah, the same way that your husband should have someone to talk about how god-awful their wife is. No, you're a freaking idiot trying to stir drama. And this is where I'm talking about where they have all these women on these shows that are just going to stab each other in the back. Talk about girl code, when in reality, all they're going to do is hurt you in the long run because they can't be trusted. None of them. Not a single one.
Better never log into our text, Brandon. You don't want to see it.
Oh, that sounds fun, and we're all laughing about it. Brandon, she's telling you the truth. Her and Julia have conversations where they trash you, and if you log in, you will actually see that your wife talks about you like a dog. Guarantee it, because that's what Jasmine does. And Julia's an easy target. Julia's always kind of been this person that has no problem really saying negative things. I've been on her side a lot more this season because, of course, his mom is very intrusive, but Julia's not great in the marriage either. I hope they really find their adult ways now that they're pregnant, but Jasmine is not the one you want on your shoulder talking in your ear, because that is the devil on your shoulder. So kick her out of your life, Julia. You don't need that while you're starting a family with your husband, who all she wants to do is for you to talk trash about him.
I said that she discusses her clothes. I never said she made fun of her.
You are... She's such a liar. She really might be the worst liar on the show. She's literally saying she never said anything like that, trying to stir up the drama. And watch how she reacts when confronted with it.
Miami got to your head, and just nasty comments about you and like things that...
See, and then she says right there, like, see? Like, this proves me correct. After it clearly showed she's saying nasty comments about you after she just said, that's not what I said. And then at the end of that, she said, I'm sorry, I'm repeating this now. I try to keep my language fairly tame, even though, sometimes it slips out. But she says, bitches be fake. Look, that in and of itself, I couldn't care less that she says that. It's the funny part of her acting like she didn't say anything, and then it shows it, and then she's like, look, it proves me innocent. I mean, the cognitive dissonance it takes for her to actually really comprehend or make that a logical thing in her mind is pretty insane. Is she just a pathological liar, or is she really playing it up for the cameras? Now, she's claiming on social media and stuff like that, oh, it's all a show. Why would you make yourself look that way? It's idiotic.
To put you in a position, choose. Like, are we in high school?
Yes. All of you are acting like, you know what? All of you are acting like middle schoolers, possibly elementary schoolers. It's actually worse. Y'all are worse than a high school drama right now.
Jasmine is good to get in everybody's heads.
Exactly. Hello.
This is funny. Now, right here, if you can see, they put everyone that is quote-unquote Team Gino, or at least against Jasmine, in one van. Obviously, that's strategic because they're trying to get everyone going before they get back there, hoping to get the drama just really intense. Then they can roll into the next day and bring up, hey, what happened the night before? As they're trying to do this whole new scenario thing where they ramp up the drama because, naturally it's TV. People get tired of one thing, you have to ramp it up. But of course, they're not even trying to hide what they're doing.
Let's go get the drink because I'm done.
The funny part about that was Elizabeth wasn't there. Now, you could argue, like, why wasn't she there? Because everyone's there and all of a sudden she's just somewhere else in the house. Yeah, okay. Who knows how that happened? Either way, she wasn't there. They were having a conversation, and then it seemed like, actually, Andre seemed somewhat reasonable, like having a decent conversation. Then all of a sudden Elizabeth walks up. He turns and says, we're getting the hell out of here. I'm like, my God. Is she worse than Andre? Can we all agree that Elizabeth might actually be worse than... You know what? Comment below. Who's worse? And they're both pretty bad. Who's worse, Andre or Elizabeth? I think Elizabeth's worse.
Let's call that number. See if Matt answers the phone. She's lying to us.
And you know what the funny part is Jovi's trying to act like he's not the person that's creating any drama either, like he's just an innocent and everything. And yet the first opportunity he gets, hey, Gino, come here. Let's see that paper. Let's see what we can do. Let's call it and see if it really is Matt, which I couldn't care less about that. It'd be pretty funny if his phone rang, but it doesn't matter. What the evidence that Gino had proves nothing. We all know that she was talking to Matt long before. We can all assume that she was sleeping with him. The numbers on paper mean nothing. And Gino thinks he's got some nail in the coffin thing here. It's ridiculous. But here comes Jovi. Let's call it and see what's really happening. Come on, Jovi. I mean, if you don't, at least own your drama stirring.
Because our marriage was getting up.
Do you own any responsibility for your marriage being effed up, or do you just think it's everyone else's fault but yours? Because there's a common theme with a lot of these people in that they don't want to own any responsibility. They want to push it off on the other person. Now, granted, usually that goes back and forth because neither one of them can own responsibility. But I gotta say, and we'll see a little bit more of it, Guillermo comes off looking more like the adult than she does.
Very passionate way.
No, she doesn't love me as much as him.
I don't.
That is sad. And the more and more I watch this, the more and more I actually don't have as much of a problem with Matt. Like, in the beginning I did, of course, he was a part of the cheating and everything like that. Sure, big problem. Gino had his own faults. I mean, we can go back and forth on it. Gino and Jasmine are both awful. But Matt, in this instance, actually seems like he's trying to make it work. And Jasmine asked, do you love Matt like you love Gino? She could not even come up with an answer, only says that she was kind of, in a way, obsessed with Gino, which is so weird. Like, she's an odd, weird, mentally ill person. But Matt knows it because he says, nope, she doesn't. He needs to get the hell out. Unfortunately, there's a child involved now, but they're not married right now, so you figure out the co-parenting thing, and then you move on. But the problem with Matt is I think he knows that Jasmine is probably going to do everything in her power to keep the child away from him or give him very limited access, considering she already did that when the child was born. So I think he's really just trying to keep access with his child, which, you know what, he wants to be a good dad, so power to him for that. But he's going to have a rough life with her.
I have no idea why.
Were you texting somebody earlier?
Okay, so what happened here is that Elizabeth and I think Yara walked up in this room where they were playing Truth or Dare randomly, just out of nowhere, and then asked Matt, were you texting someone earlier? Did someone text you? And he's like, what? Why? No, whatever. They're trying to see if he texted back Andre when he tried to see if that was his number or called, trying to see what's going on. It didn't show him texting anybody, and so no one answered. So it doesn't look like that's even Matt's number currently, but it's so obviously they're doing something. They couldn't put two and two together because they had no idea. They had no idea what they were doing downstairs. It was just kind of funny and obvious what they were doing, and it's really dumb because, again, this proves nothing. Even if his phone rang, even if he answered and said, hello, and Andre said, hello, is this Matthew? Or whatever, it doesn't prove anything. It's his phone number. So what? We know he was talking to Jasmine. It's dumb. Y'all are stupid. Jovi's trying to stir up drama. Y'all, if y'all don't see that, I don't know what to tell you.
The fact that Matt changed his number, I mean, that just shows he's guilty.
Gino, you are a dumb person. I'm sorry. Gino is so incredibly stupid, at least on this issue. Maybe he's smart on everything else in life, but on this issue, he is a retarded person. He is dumb. All he's doing is showing that he's holding on to something because I guess, he's bitter about the whole situation, which I get it to an extent, but he had his fair share of problems that he caused in the relationship too, so I don't feel bad for him at all. So if he wants to boil in his resentment, then have at it, buddy. You're going to have a fun rest of your life.
Not in a good mood.
That's how he lives his existence now. That face right here, Jasmine said, I'm not in a good mood. And he's like, you're never in a good mood. That's kind of how he seems like he comes off there. So yeah, they seem like they have a fun home. Don't let the TikToks fool you. That man is miserable. When he's with his kid, happy as can be, I'm sure. But with Jasmine as a relationship, miserable.
You are who matter.
Oh my gosh, Jasmine coming up to Julia and saying, I got your back. You are who matters. That's her basically saying you're more important than Brandon. You're more important than his parents. No matter what you do, you're always going to be right. Jasmine is not the one you want on your corner for this. Jasmine is always trying to create drama, and she tries to come off as the victim, so stay away from her. No one should be friends with Jasmine. No one should go anywhere near Jasmine because her toxicity will definitely come off on you.
I just have to keep like an eye on Matt. He's too charming.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes.
Oh.
I don't like that.
You don't like that he's too charming. So let me get this straight. You don't love him like Gino. You wouldn't accept his proposal. You don't want to be with him in any kind of meaningful relationship. But he's too flirty. He's too friendly with people. And you got to keep an eye on him because he's too charming. She wants to control it. She would be perfectly happy controlling Matt. Him being miserable because she's got him on the leash or on a thick or tight rope or whatever you want to call it. But yet going out and doing her thing. Because she will definitely do to him what they did to Gino. Which, by the way, again, who cares what happened to Gino? Gino's a piece of garbage too. But it will happen to him too, and he's going to stay on this rope where she just wants to be able to dangle him. So she wants to control him, but yet has no problem doing her own thing. She is a god-awful person. Like, it's really bad. Like, she has no remorse or emotion about what she does to other people. It's only about what is done to her.
I don't want to interrupt the peace and quiet.
Are you sure?
So I'm going to be in this corner because apparently I'm too loud.
Yes. You get it. She finally understands. Everyone just clap for Jasmine. She finally gets it. I'm going to stay in the corner because I'm too damn loud. And it was funny because Kara actually said something positive kind of about her, and then she heard her name and just automatically assumes everyone's talking trash because, well, she makes it easy. But, oh, Jasmine, you are, you're good for content. I'll say that.
Enjoy it with any female except from his wife.
True.
And then she proceeds to just start drama with Georgie, who didn't really have anything to say about her by saying he's going to be with any female other than his wife, which may be true, but either way, they weren't even talking to them, and she just kind of decided to walk in, drop a grenade, and walk away because Jasmine.
And then the payment that I was doing, it was like food and this and the other.
Okay, now they're talking about what they pay for in their marriage, talking about all the stuff he pays for and her paying for the house. It gets interesting.
Specifically about
Okay.
the house.
Uh-huh.
It was more
Specifically about the house, so she wants to divert back to about the house, but
so me. As our budget as a whole, it was sometimes more him depending on what.
aha. So basically, she was trying to make it seem like she was paying more bills and everything like that because she kept saying the house, the house, the house. So he brings up, when you're talking about all the things, groceries, all these other things, he was paying for all these certain things that she don't want to talk about. So then she actually admits it, which is kind of funny. We were talking about the house when you're talking about all these other things. Yeah, there were times he was paying more. It matters. Like, y'all want to keep things separately, fine. That's your decision. But as a married couple, there's a lot of things more than just the house payment. And what's her explanation? Well, I thought we were talking about equity in the home and things like. You are a dumb. Why are these people so dumb? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Because it's not that they're dumb. It really isn't. I say that, but it's kind of flippant, really, than anything. It's not that they're dumb. They're just, they know what they're doing. And it's kind of funny. They're trying to justify it because they want to do what they feel is best for them because it's all selfish. It's selfish. In some cases, it's narcissistic. And that's what it is, more than stupidity. But it's kind of funny because she actually admits that he was paying more than she was in a lot of instances.
I just want to have a good life. That's it.
And oh, by the way, he goes on to say that if that means fighting with you, I don't want that, so you can just basically keep the house. So he's basically saying, I will sign away my name on the deed to the house so I can have a good life. Which, you know what? That's a very adult thing to do, so if he follows through with that, I get that part. But damn, Kara is making this very difficult, and she's going to get everything, and it make his life difficult for no reason. So if he wants to do that, fine. I get where he's coming from. But at the same time, she's not showing any growth at all or any acting like an adult at all.
Rona said, Guillermo, the way Kara speaks to you, that's really bad.
Damn, her mom said that? So her mom tells Guillermo the way she speaks to you, her own daughter, is really bad. And by the way, Kara does not dispute this, which is why I'm pretty sure what he's saying is accurate. That's bad. If your mom knows that you talk to people like crap, especially your husband, the father of your child, that's insane. You need to work on yourself, which, by the way, she thinks she's doing, but in the way of partying, clubbing, drinking, which we'll get to.
It's just growing.
It's growing,
and
okay.
Evolving.
Bringing in money?
You know, music is a really hard industry.
Okay. What's the status of your music career? It's growing. Oh, it's bringing in money? Well, you know, it's a tough industry. It's a tough thing to do. Yeah, that means you're not making any money. So basically the status is you have a dream, you have a hobby, really. It's not making any money. What happened to going to Italy to record? That seemed like a pretty big deal, and yet, oh, by the way, nothing happened? Well, it kind of makes sense considering the last time you saw the show, it just looked like a few random people dancing around and you didn't really have any fanfare. Now, yes, it's a difficult industry, not one most people would really want to be in, I would think, because it's a toxic industry. Either way, it's not really going very well for you, so I don't know what your plan is here, but stop acting like it's your career. It's a hobby.
Who the do you think you are to tell me what to do, what to wear, and stuff? And it's not that I'm telling you what to do, what to wear. Not at all. It's just that it makes me feel a little bit weird.
Yes, he's basically saying that he feels a little uncomfortable with what she was wearing, and she goes off on him saying, like, you're not going to tell me what to wear. Perfectly reasonable what he said. You wearing something that's the equivalent of underwear out in public, or basically you're wearing such a short skirt that you might as well just be showing your underwear. And he's like, it kind of makes me feel uncomfortable. Again, like he said, not saying, you know, you can do what you want to do, but she go off, oh, how dare you? You're like, I'm telling you what to do. Well, you can still do what you want to do. Like, there's a difference. But the real core of that argument for him is you're never really hearing what I'm saying and really taking it into account. It's a one-way communication street, which is a disaster when it comes to a relationship.
That just, like, doesn't support me.
Yeah, except for the fact that he did support you until he saw you all over other guys and hanging out with a DJ all hours of the night that you actually slept with and continues to make passes at you. It's a little more nuanced than what you're saying. There's a little more context than what you're saying, you freaking liar.
I think you should have been there for her and supported her.
Shut the hell up, Gino. God dang. This fool needs to can somebody go, we need like I don't know, can we like have like some sort of device that just keeps Gino's mouth shut? Because every time he talks, it's such stupidity that comes out of his mouth. I just want to scream, but I'm an adult, so I can control my emotions. And as an adult man, I do that daily. Gino does not have that skill. He just spews whatever dumb thing comes to his head. So, yeah, somebody make that guy shut up.
Kara, do you think you become a different person when you drink?
I think I become more fun when I...
Says every alcoholic ever. I'm more fun. I drive better when I'm drunk. Okay, she didn't say that, but it's an over-exaggeration, but damn, I think I'm more fun. That means I automatically don't believe you.
Like, I never changed. He changed.
Oh, you know what? I think she just said the part she doesn't realize. Yes, you know what? Since you met Guillermo, you met him in a state where you might have been partying and things like that. Fine. Y'all got married, y'all had a kid, and then you're saying he changed. Yeah, he probably tried to mature. Now, he didn't completely mature. He still had some pipe dreams of like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, when they didn't really have the money, like being a pilot and things like that. Yeah, that was still kind of there a little bit. But the partying, all that kind of stuff, it seems like he's the one that wants to be more of a father, and you want to go out and have a good time. You know, it's okay to evolve. It's okay to change. You don't want to be the 60-year-old club girl never letting go of their youth. Yeah, it's not a good look. So maybe grow up a little bit. So in an effort to save their marriage, she was going to give up drinking. So they had this conversation. Obviously, it became somewhat of a problem. And she, in an effort to save their marriage, she was going to give up drinking. All of this screams she's got a drinking problem. But the cope she is giving is insane. Do you think it lasted? Let's see.
I mean, I think alcohol is not good for you long term. It obviously doesn't make you feel good.
But then you only gave it 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
She only gave it 2 weeks. So she gave it 2 weeks and then it was back to drinking because naturally that's what people who don't have an alcohol problem do.
Why would I not call upon my friend to help promote my music?
Is this guy still married with kids?
Good question. Talking about the DJ, and then he promptly asks, is this guy still married?
Yeah.
No.
Yes, they're still legally married.
Oh my gosh. So she naturally says, yes, they're still married. He's like, no. Yes, they're legally married, but they're separated. That matters. Legally married means nothing if you're not considering yourself together and you're separated going through a divorce. That matters because he might be off messing around with other people, or he might be trying to mess around with Kara, which, by the way, he obviously held a candle for her all this time. She tried to justify it by saying, yeah, we slept together once. And then I said right after, hey, we can't do this. We're friends. I just want to be friends. Genie's out of the bottle. Done deal at that point.
So, like, I know where I stand with him, and it takes two to tango.
Okay.
I don't give a what advances he's trying to make.
Okay. So she's trying to justify this by, oh, I'm never going to sleep with him. It takes two to tango. And then she says, I don't care what advances he's trying on me. Saying he's giving you advances all the time is basically what she's saying. So he's always trying to get in your pants, but it's okay because you're not going to let him. Why are you hanging out with this dude who is constantly trying to sleep with you? Because you might want something out of him, or because you continue to sleep with him? Which is it? Because either way, it's not good.
Up and be like, oh, mommy, you know, my husband's uncomfortable. It's inappropriate. I had several conversations with Javier about.
There it is. God dang, this lady just has no self-awareness. So she's saying, I had several conversations with this guy. You can't come up to me, hug me, kiss me, basically saying, moom, 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 moom. And, you know, my husband's uncomfortable. I had several conversations. So you had conversations. He continued to do it. You continued to have conversations. But instead of just saying, I'm not going to hang out with you anymore because either you are sleeping with him or your career that he's somehow going to advance you in is more important to you than your relationship. Either way, none of that looks good for Kara because she continues to do the same things over and over again, and she's basically admitting her fault without realizing it.
I was really committed and down. I was like ride or die for him.
So ride or die that you wouldn't hear anything he said or even accommodate him at all when he's talking about how he feels uncomfortable with the outfits you're wearing because you're hanging out with a guy you slept with and continue to hang out with him even though he's hugging you and trying to kiss you. Sound about right?
I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Okay.
I'm not sure what I'm going to do. So she goes over to Sean and basically says, this is Julia. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Clearly, she's talking about the pregnancy. Now, look, I don't know about you. She is very clearly something. Let's be generous here. Something going on. She looks pregnant. She's put on some weight. Not in a negative way, but she's put on some weight. You see her stomach. Her boobs have grown. Put two and two together, there's a good chance she's pregnant, but yet she's still trying to act like no one sees this. And then she's going to go over and say, I don't know what to do. Oh my gosh. You're going to reveal this on live television. This is about if this is true and this is how the reveal went, this is about the worst thing you could do for anxiety when it comes to something like this. Not smart.
I am 6 months pregnant right now.
Really? Really? You haven't told your parents or Brandon's parents, but you feel so secure to come on national television and tell the rest of the cast of 90 Day Fiance Happily Ever After that you're pregnant before them. Look, Betty is tough to deal with, but damn, that's messed up. And her parents too. messed up.
I haven't been able to cry in a long time.
That's because you're with Kara, who has no soul. Okay, that's over. Obviously, she didn't have a soul, but she's very selfish. I will say that.
I want to do what I can to support her and not cause her any additional stress.
So maybe tell her not to do it on national television and to tell people ahead of time, because it might cause additional stress. And it was at that moment that her mom knew the truth. Now, I will say that, like, as much as we talk about how much some of this could be staged, her mom's reaction looks genuinely surprised. So I think she literally was just told in that moment. That just makes it even more messed up. At least if it seems staged, I could say, hey, oh, haha, but her mom probably knew. I don't think her mom knew. Her dad's kind of like, what's happening? What is happening right now? Her mom's like, say what?
Ron and Betty, this...
My God, that lady always has some wine in her hand, unless that's something else, but I'm going to assume that that's wine. I think that lady definitely has a drinking problem. Now, of course, they cut it off before they tell Betty, and let's see what her reaction is. So, obviously, that leads into next week, which should be fun. Either way, it was messed up to tell them like that. That's crazy. Even no matter how much you disagree with Betty, and I disagree with her a lot, because damn, that lady don't have boundaries. That's messed up. And her parents and theirs, so that's crazy. But we'll see how they react next week as it gets crazier and crazier, and maybe there will be actually some drama in the house. It was kind of relatively tame in the house. I don't think it's working out how they thought it would, other than some mild things here and there. But the tell-all gets even more interesting as we go along, so to be determined. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, share with your friends. I will see y'all next time.